Hey there, I'm Ina Speak Simply Malekish, and this is my channel. And I enjoy sharing with you about sex, relationships, intimacy, and spirituality one bite at a time. And today I want to talk to you because we are about a week or so into 2021, and you navigated the holidays. If you've been unhappy off and on over this last year, this was not when you wanted to make changes. You didn't want to rock the boat. And yet now that things are getting back to normal, that's relatively speaking, because we still are dealing with our country and what's going on. But let's just focus on what's going on with you and in your relationship. And I'm talking if you are married or if you've been living with someone or boyfriend, girlfriend. Basically, you're in relationship and you're realizing it's not working. You have three choices. It's very simple. Choice number one is get counseling, the most obvious. Find a good counselor. Call me, text me. The second is learn to forgive yourself, forgive others, or divorce. So those are the three things I'm going to be talking about. And the first thing is, yes, you made it through the holidays. Things are back to normal. And it's still stressful, either because of finances, because of COVID-19. You're still home schooling kids. Maybe the kids are in school with any luck. Whatever is going on, it still comes down to you have to live with yourself. And if you're dying inside, then before you make that decision to divorce, if you're dying inside, I highly recommend that you work with me, because when communication breaks down, the heart closes, and then the last thing you want to do is to be touched, to give, and to be intimate with each other. So before you just throw everything away because of your level of frustration, I invite you not to do that. Seek counseling and good communication skills and learning to speak the unspeakable, learning to listen and not interrupt the other person. And oftentimes it needs the therapist, the counselor, to stop, to balance out who's talking, how much each person is talking, and to get down to the core. And when I work with you as a couple, then I want to work with you individually, because now you can actually tell me things that you wouldn't say in front of your partner because you didn't want to hurt their feelings or you're afraid how they would respond to it. If you're a single, let's say you're not living together, or you're just single and you realize you're not happy and that you need someone to talk to throw some ideas out and to get some valid, educational information with how to proceed with your life in regards to dating or relationship, or if you are divorced with children. Counseling, I would say go there first. Be sure you find a good counselor. And again, I invite you, because I have a lot of good testimonials up on my websites and on Yelp. And give me a chance. You have to be sure I'm the right therapist for you, though. So now, the second. Okay, so this is starting over. You've decided it's a new year, 2021. You need to start over. And so one way to start over is by letting go of past disagreements. Let go. Anything that goes beyond, I say a month, but when you first start, maybe anything that goes beyond 2 months, you need to let it go. You can't change it. You can learn from it. You can decide how to live your life differently. But continuing to bring it up or continuing to feel the weight of the hurt that you experience doesn't solve it. Doesn't work. So remember, you are human and your partner is human, and we make mistakes. And so if they made a mistake that really hurt you, probably you've made a mistake that have really hurt them, and maybe they haven't even told you. So realize that you both are right and you both are wrong. And sometimes you need help getting to that point where you actually can accept that. Eventually, if you watch mistakes being made, and it may be that you see it through friends, maybe it's with each other, but if you can see a mistake being made, you don't have to fall into the same pothole. Kind of like the person driving in front of you. and there's a pothole and you see their car go into it, you're going to swerve. You're going to go around it. You don't have to make the same mistakes. Making mistakes is important. It's how we learn to use a fork and a knife. It's how we learn to go from crawling to walking. Making mistakes is not bad. We all hate to make them. But making mistakes actually is the process of us growing, evolving, becoming a better person, learning from our mistakes, and eventually learning from the mistakes of the wise elders, whoever they may be. Because everybody makes mistakes unless they're walking on water, and there's no one on this planet walking on water at this point. The other thing to remember is, in a relationship, you're not seeking that perfect relationship. You're not seeking perfection. You're perfectly seeking. Just flip those two words around. You're perfectly seeking. And so you can make mistakes. You can forgive yourself. You could forgive the other person. You could recognize a mistake before you make it because you've done it so many times. So the choice number 2 is to choose to stay together, to choose to grow and to evolve and to go through the hard times as well as the good times and to learn from them. And I'm not saying it's easy. There are times when you might wonder, why am I staying in this relationship? You're thinking, I would be better off by myself. Well, maybe you would, because that takes us to the third choice that you have, which is divorce. But before you throw the baby out with the bathwater, before you go there, I really want you to consider yourself. And can you be more kind? Can you change your voice tone? Can you speak more respectfully? Because as you begin to work on yourself, not only will your partner feel the difference, your children will, if you have children, your co-workers or the people, that you live with. Okay? So we want it not be too fast after you've just come through all the holidays with what we're dealing with, in our country. Don't be too fast to move out. Okay? Work with a counselor first. Take your time. Work on yourself. You can't do anything about the other person. You may want to. You can observe and see, but you can't do anything. All you can do is work on yourself, become a better person. And as you change, you might see things around you change also. So your third choice, second week in 2021, before you go to this place, there's a lot for you to consider about divorce. So first of all, I do help couples divorce when they realize their relationship is complete. They don't hate each other. They actually can talk to each other. They respect each other. They just have grown apart. So one of the very first things is, don't wait until you're so angry at each other that you hate each other. If you're going to separate, you want to separate with as much love and respect as how you came together. So if you've lost respect for your partner, usually you don't want to make love to them either. So opening your heart, understanding from their perspective, and to the best of your ability. Again, it's difficult to do this without the help of a counselor, but you have differences, and your differences are not necessarily wrong. They are different. And I know sometimes you might say, well, I know that I'm right on this. Well, you can be right and unhappy, or you could just let it go and be happy. There are some things you can't let go. There are some things that have to be resolved. But first and foremost, realize you both are right and you both are wrong, and that might help you. Now, the biggest thing I've noticed with my clients, when they're really sad, tears, really sad, is what they realize is they've lost the dream. They've lived with each other long enough to where they actually don't like each other, and they're frustrated with each other, but they've lost the dream of what they thought they were going to have when they married this person or they moved in with this person. And in losing that dream, it's like a part of you shatters, because you put so much into the dream of the possibilities of what this is. And if you realize that you can create another dream, The dream is not necessarily gone. It just isn't going to manifest with this person. And the sooner you realize that you've outgrown each other, let's just put it that way, you've outgrown each other, and to be able to come to a completion. One of the ways you come to completion is you make a list of all the things that you have learned from that person, all the things you've learned as a result of being in relationship with that person. That is for your harvesting, so you recognize that in a future partner, that you don't have to learn the same things over again. And you actually are going to tell your partner, as a result of us being in this relationship together, this is what I have learned from you. This is what I have learned, and I so appreciate it. And you both actually appreciate each other and thank each other for the lessons that you learned, that you have become a better person. You've learned to speak more clearly. You've learned to show more appreciation. You've learned to express love, tenderness that maybe you weren't doing. So any relationship is like taking a college class. You know, it takes a couple of years before you get your AA degree or your bachelor's degree or your master's degree. And relationships are like going to school. You are in them to learn and grow and evolve. So something that most people never do is they never thank each other for what they've learned. They just can't wait to get away from that person, and they're upset because the dream of what they thought they had is gone. What you can harvest and learn from that other person, and like I said, write it down, is because that becomes the building block of a brand new dream, of a brand new house. And those building blocks are very important for you to grow and for you to change. We have to learn from our past so we don't make the same mistakes. We want to move forward. We want to evolve and grow emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and sexually. And a relationship is one of the best ways to do that, believe it or not. Now, when you're looking at what you've learned, or you're even sharing it with your ex, be specific. Be specific. I learned that I don't have a very good sense of humor. And you brought a sense of humor to me that helped me to get over being angry, get over being mad. And I actually learned to laugh at myself and some of the idiosyncrasies that you had to deal with. And I'm so sorry, because this is a wonderful time like to apologize to your ex or your soon-to-be ex. I did this with one of my husbands that I had outgrown. And we did it as a part of our separation, divorce. And we had a blanket that we cut in half, and we each took half. He chose to burn his half, and I chose to use mine for my cat to sleep on. And a year later, we got back together, and we gave each other a gift, saying thank you. At the end of this year, this is what I learned. I was able to apologize for so many more things as he was. So coming together in relationship, you need to make a commitment at the very beginning, especially if it's a marriage, that you will have respect and you'll stay together until you no longer can stay together and you've outgrown each other, and you will leave the relationship with as much dignity and respect. I think things would be very different. And remember, a nice gift. Now, here's just a few things. Let go of the past with forgiveness for yourself and your ex. Okay, let go of the past, forgive your partner, forgive yourself. Now, this could be if you're going to stay together or divorce. You have to let go of the past. Dream a new future. If you've been married for 2 years or you've been married for 20 years, and you're having a hard time, together dream a new future. You can have the type of relationship that you desire. Now, you may not be able to have it with that partner because you've really have moved apart, and you don't have to settle for less. If you end that relationship, then when you know some basic things that are your bottom line when you meet somebody else. and you're not going to make some of the same mistakes. And you're honest so that you don't have to die inside because you're trying to mold yourself to that other person and you don't want to hurt them, but you're hurting yourself. Now, the very first thing that you need to focus on is your self-growth and development. And I highly recommend that for a while, if you're choosing to separate or divorce, for a while, you stop dating others and you date yourself. You stop dating others and you date yourself. You have to know yourself better. You have to evolve. You have to become the kind of person that you want to pull into your life and to share your life with you, be it in a full-time relationship, be it as friends, or if it's, I work in the alternative lifestyle. If you want to have a marriage that is open, and what does that look like? And if you have children, what does that look like? So any of the above I can help you with. And I just want to say thank you so much again. We are in 2021. Remain calm. Trust that everything will end as it needs to be. Continue praying. And you help my business to thrive. So do me a favor. Would you please like this video or share it or leave a comment or even subscribe? And you can contact me. There's information right where you're seeing this where you can text me or contact me. And I really appreciate your time, and blessings to you.